Well, hello everybody, Jeff Cowan here, and I'm back here today to answer a question that you've given to me regarding automotive service advising, and here's what the question is. You know, Jeff, we're asked to measure so many different numbers and look at so many different numbers. Does it really matter? And if so, which ones should I really be watching and why do they matter? And I'll answer that question for you. There's 5 areas that I believe you have to watch if you're serious about being the absolute advisor, service manager, or business owner, and here's what they are. Let's start with customer paid hours per repair order. Now, some people don't like to measure that because, and the reason is there's so many ways to manipulate it, but not if you do it the right way. And I'll share with you what the right way is here in a second, but here's why you want to measure this number. You want to measure this number because it tells you as an individual service advisor how good you are at selling. As a service manager and business owner, it tells you how good your team is at selling. Again, some people don't like to measure it because it's very easy to manipulate and make it look really good unless you offset it with the next area you should be watching, which is effective labor rate. See, anybody can walk out to a customer and take a repair order and add a bunch of stuff to it by discounting it and get their hours per repair order up. But the problem is they discount it, and that's why the national average and effective labor rate is a lousy 68%, meaning they're getting 68% of their door rate. They're discounting everything. But effective labor rate's important for you to measure because if you know how to sell value, then you don't have to discount and you hang on to more money, and your effective labor rate should be around 90, 91, 92, 93%, okay? So when you counteract hours per repair order with that, you can't moogie-foogie them. So those are great to watch because it tells you how good you are, again, customer paid hours, how good you are at selling, and number 2, how good you are at selling the value because you're not discounting. The next area you want to watch, especially as an advisor, is your closing ratio. Closing ratio is where you simply measure how many times you ask for something and get it. It tells you how strong of a salesperson you are, you know, how consistent you are. Another area you want to watch is customer retention. Now, most people relate customer retention to simply making their customers happy, but it's much more than that. Customer retention denotes your value to the community, your value to your customers in business. So as an individual, if you have high retention, which should be in the 80-85% range, by the way, it means that in your community, you're seen as somebody that people are driven to. They want to come back to because you have a reputation of getting the job done. You add value to the community. Same thing with your business. If you can get your whole business running where it has high customer retention, then you're seen as having high value in the community. So it's much more than just making customers happy. Another area that you want to watch is obviously survey scores because that tells you how happy you're keeping your customers. Now, obviously the idea when it comes to survey scores is you want to get 100%. You want to get 100%. But if you have high customer retention and you're hitting these other metrics, then it's safe to assume you've got happy customers. So if every once in a while somebody dings you by saying something unpleasant or something that you don't like, don't look at it as them as snapping back at you or putting you down. It's probably more from the mindset of, hey, look, I had this happen. I want you to know about it so you could correct it. So the next time I come in, I get the value that I'm looking for, and the rest of the community gets the value. So those are the 5 areas that you want to watch and you want to pay very close attention to, and they do matter because essentially they tell you how good you are at what you do. And if you want to be the absolute best, then you got to drive those numbers. Now, the wrong way and the wrong numbers to look at is I hate it when I go into places and their benchmarks are simply based on total sales or total gross. I mean, I've seen so many salespeople that can sell $100,000 a month, but they have no closing ratio, no hours per repair order, or anything else. So they're not really salespeople, they're order takers. I hate it when you measure is the number of ROs being written up. I mean, come on. I mean, I've never met an advisor that can write 25, 30 repair orders in a single day and do it consistently and get all these other numbers. You're much better to not focus so much on that, but these other areas if you truly want to be the best, and I'm sure you do. Now, when it comes to any of these metrics, the ones I've mentioned or other ones you may be watching, if you want to get into more detail, call me up, text me, write me, you know, whatever, and I'll be more than happy to share with you how to get these numbers because I can show you very quickly how to get the highest levels in every single one of these areas we discussed here today. So if you want to be the best, look me up, call me. Come to one of my workshops. They're always a great time. People love them, and you will too. So with that, I'm going to say goodbye. I'm going to sign off. You have a great day. I'm going to have a great day, and I'll see you soon.